Okay, you beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big waves. Double hands will always make you have a better day unless you're driving down the road. We'd appreciate you keeping your hand on the steering wheel. So good to see you, Lance. All right. Well, I'm going to get right into it. We do have a couple of birthday people. So if you're on this morning and you know Diane Bond or Christy Phelps, please send them a big shout out, a big happy birthday. It is their birthday today, and we wish them the most amazing day. And if it's yours, let us know in the comments so we get to celebrate you. Okay. So, the word for today, in honor of Joanne Knight, and also in honor of us coming back from an event. A lot of us that are on the coaches corner are in business together, and we just came back, or we're coming back, or we're trying to get back from Destin, Florida. And the word for today is obedience. Obedience. And I want you to think about yourself. Let's self-reflect. Let's dig in a little bit. If you look at the word obedience, and this is Joanne's word of the year, it's obedience is an act of following instructions, rules. Oh, this stepped on my toes. I was little Johnny in the back of the room growing up, right? In the school, right? Pain. I was a painful person. So I think about this. Obedience is the act of following instructions, rules, or a system with discipline. Consistency. Are you a person that struggles typically with consistency? It's just kind of like I do it for a week and then it kind of gets boring to me. You know, it's about doing what's required, even though you don't feel like it, even though it gets boring, even though it doesn't at times make sense. Here's what it is: obedience is building a blind compliance with whoever you're deciding to go in a direction of. So here's my thought: spiritual. There's a lot of people that read the Bible on this right here. And maybe you haven't experienced what is possible in that book. So you're kind of leading your life with some hope, with some belief, with some vision for what could come. But is it blind obedience? Well, unless Hill's already been there and hadn't told me, it's probably like like we got to focus, and it sometimes I would think blind obedience. I think about business. Like sometimes if you haven't like if a person hasn't made $1 million a year and that's their goal, well, and they're learning from someone that's already done it and they're telling them what to do, you've never been there. I've never, or like a person's never been there. So guess what? You got to have some blind obedience, right? Like I choose to follow you and I'm going to do it. I choose to follow you, Jesus. I choose to follow you, person A, in business, and I got to have some blind obedience. It's about committing to proven strategies. Tim Sales said it the best this weekend. He said, everybody that crosses the stage, you don't have to be in our business to get this, is saying, I came to this company because I saw a post. I came to this company because I saw a post. And he looks around the room and he says, if you're sitting in the room today, that's a clue. That is a clue. Like if everybody's coming to the company seeing a post and you're somebody in the room that's not posting, wow, what a shocker, you know? And it was kind of funny to me, but it's the proven strategies that work. But why do we fall off? Why do we get away from obedience? It's hard. It's hard to stay consistent. It's hard to read the Bible every day. It's hard. Like, it's not like somebody's taking you out back and whipping you, but it's just mundane. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness, I forgot. I got busy, right? The dogs were barking. The squirrels were chirping. Like I just got distracted. So, why is it important? I'm going to say this really quick. Success loves consistency. in your spiritual walk, in your relationships, in your business, in your finances. Success loves consistency. Are you putting away $10 a week? Success loves consistency. Are you making the calls daily and let the days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months? Success loves consistency. I got a message from Mary Catherine Ewan this morning talking about her daily method of operation, how many people she's reaching out to every day. I said, 6 months from now, lady, your business will be changed. It's amazing how that happens. Now she's got to do it consistently, but when she does, there will be success on the other side. Success loves consistency. Obedience builds trust. Have you ever thought about that? Like, I'm not a scholar of the Bible, but I'll tell you somebody I'd go to, Hill Blue. I know he's got great wisdom in that category. It keeps you from reinventing the wheel. Everybody's passing the stage. Oh, I got here because I saw a post, saw a post, saw a post. Then why would I be trying to reinvent the post? Really simple. Obedience loves not reinventing the wheel, right? Keeps you from it. And then the last is obedience separates commitment from curiosity. Are you dabbling in spirituality? Are you dabbling in your health? Listen, I'm stepping all over my toes this morning, just so you know. Are you dabbling in your business? Obedience separates the committed from the curious. The curious will come and go. The curious will get distracted. The curious will sit in the audience and go, why do I keep going back to this place? Commitment, commitment. That's the answer. Oh, Andrea, I'm going to turn it to you. This stepped on my toes this morning in a lot of different walks of my life. So, you know what? We all can judge when things we're good at and be like, why are we not good at that? And then if we just look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm not good at about 7 different things that I'm not committed on. So I need to practice obedience. Andrea, I'll turn it to you. Sorry.
Well, this was a great lesson, and I love your quote. And there's a gal on here. I think she's here. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. But she was talking about she had done this like test for herself before, her and her husband, and it's Katie. And she said that we've got bigger strengths and lesser strengths. So it doesn't mean you're not good at it. It just means that we focus on our strengths where they are, right?
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Katie, for that. I feel better now. I feel better now. Yes.
so I'll tell you, I am a rule follower, but I don't like being told what to do. It's a very confusing piece of my personality. I don't know how we describe that. So this one stepped on my toes a little bit also. So the quote that I found is discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And that's our very own Jim Rohn, right? So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so what I looked at was, okay, well, how do we get more obedient when it comes to business? Like, what can we do to kind of grow this muscle of obedience in our business? So, first of all, follow the system. If there's a proven way to succeed, trust it. Stop trying to do it your own way. And I think about for those of you that are involved in our company, you don't have to be, but we have something called the system of growth. And with it, it has some very specific steps that I fought, well, really only for a week. But that first week when I kind of committed, right? I was more curious than committed. But when I'd kind of committed that first week, I was recreating the wheel, recreating the wheel, recreating the wheel, and I was failing. And I finally succumbed to the system because I literally said, well, it's not going to work anyway. So I might as well do it the easy way instead of keep trying to do it the hard way. And guess what? When I was obedient, it worked. It was the craziest thing, right? When I actually followed the system, it magically worked. So stop trying to do it your own way. Next, coach, don't listen to this, but it says listen to your mentor. If someone's walked the path before you, why do you argue? Andrea, why do you argue? I don't know, coach. I don't know why I argue, but I still do sometimes. I'm so sorry. But if you have a mentor that's where you want to be, put the tape over your mouth and listen. Obedience to wisdom speeds our results. I know when I shut up and just do, I'm so much happier with my results than when I fight. But sometimes I fight. So sorry. Next is be consistent, not emotional. Obedience isn't about how you feel. Do the work, even when you don't feel like it. So there's another one. Next is to track progress. So it's easier to stay obedient when we see those little small wins stacking up. So make sure that you're keeping an eye on where you're winning and don't just make that assumption. I know that this is a big weakness in me. If I've done something good, well, that's just expected, right? Like, duh. I only focus on it when I do something wrong. And then I beat myself up and take myself off course, right? So allow yourself to celebrate those wins so that you can stay more obedient. Next is to eliminate distractions. Disobedience often starts with just losing focus. So when we protect our priorities and we focus there, Haley and Becky actually did a great little, not little, but a great presentation about that at our event this weekend. But when we protect our priorities, then we can stay more obedient to them. And then lastly, commit for the long haul. The best results are going to come to those that stay obedient even when other people quit. And that goes back to that quote that you had, coach, where it was like, are you curious or are you committed? So let's all go be committed and be obedient to our own goals so we can get where we want to go. So great message this morning, coach. Oh,
Yeah. And Andrea,
thank
I
you,
gotta say
Joanne,
this.
for the word.
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta say this as I'm listening to you, this is what it made me think about, and we'll leave on this. So I thought about my own business, and I'll give you a little hack, a little nugget to think about. So sometimes coming out of the gate, December, January, it's a little slow in the nutritional world. Like people are not as motivated, right? They're eating mashed potatoes. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay if you did. So one of the things coming out every week, I run numbers just like you would if you owned a boutique or anything else. I look at my numbers. I look at my numbers. I look at my numbers. I play the week to week to week game, except at the beginning of the year, because sometimes it can be a distraction because you had this big curve and the curve drops off and you could get depressed if you look at so what I do to start my year is I only focus on activity. I put my blinders on for 90 days, maybe 2 months, January and February, and I will just put blinders on. I don't focus on volume. I don't focus on where the business. I just know that if I'm doing 2-on-1s, drop talks, like super Saturdays, like it's just churning the energy. And what'll start happening is growth. And then I'll plug back in and start looking at the numbers again, right? Because now the scale's moving in the right direction, right? Here for business, here for weight, right? So anyway, that's a thought that I do. If any of you track your numbers, hopefully you do week to week to week to week. Just a little bit of a tip there. So guys, we love you. We are so grateful for you. Happy Monday or happy Tuesday. And we'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.
Love you guys. Have a
Good one.
beautiful
See
day.
y'all.
Love you
Great,
guys.
great
Everybody have
lesson,
a great
Andrea.
day.
Love
Happy
the word.
birthday, everybody.
Joanne, thank
Love
you for the
y'all.
word.